Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to make 3 drawers out of 1/2-inch Baltic birch plywood. So the first thing I'm doing is cutting grooves. We're making locking rabbet joints for the front of the drawer. Gives you a really good glue joint, and it gives you a mechanical joint as well for the front. We're going to put a dado in the back. So this is going to be a super strong drawer. Here we're just trying to get it dialed in. And I'm just using a regular blade in the table saw. And I'll edge over the fence every time I need to cut a section out. And then I'll run all my pieces through at once. Takes a little bit of time, but it creates a really good result. I would definitely use your miter gauge to keep everything square. Now for the moment of truth. Pushes together firmly, but still leaves room for the glue. That's a good joint. Now we're just going to do the same thing on the rest of the pieces once we had it dialed in. And this goes pretty quickly. Hey guys, so this is where we're at. We have, let me flip this camera around. Come on, babe. So we've got the drawer. This is the front of the drawer and the sides. These all fit really well. At the end of this, these are just a little proud of the sides, so we're gonna trim these down. The next step, this is the drawer we're recreating. The next step is to do our dado. We already have it started, so we're gonna use this 1/2-inch. We're gonna make these dados a little wider to accept this 1/2-inch plywood.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, so here's where we're at. We have the front with the locking rabbet joint, and it's a lot tighter, there we go. And we've got the dado joint on the rear, or the back of the drawer. The next thing we need to do is create a groove on all 4 at the bottom so I can slide in the 1/4-inch plywood for the bottom of the drawer. And then after that, we're going to sand and glue up and clamp up, leave overnight. Let's go. Well, it slides well, so it fits. So now we're going to cut off just the back piece, a little bit of the back piece. You'll see why I did that here in just a second. Don't judge me. Apparently I hum quite a lot. So we let the drawers cure overnight to dry. Now we're gonna cut our plywood and get the drawer bottoms installed. You can see on the bottom left, I already made some drawer fronts that are gonna cover up the plywood and that are stained to kind of match. I'm using staples instead of brad nails. They hold much better. When you're measuring for your plywood drawer bottoms, don't forget to add the depth of the slot you cut on each side to your final width and length.
My outfeed table is taller than my table saw, so I have to put blocks underneath it so that the plywood doesn't catch. The drawer bottoms might need to be replaced sometime, so you don't glue them in. You just tack them in with staples. I'm using polyacrylic semi-gloss. You want to make sure you're getting all sides. I've used this fine finish sprayer for probably 5 or 6 years. It works really well. On these solid wood drawer fronts, you need to make sure you get all sides, top, bottom, and all the sides. If you made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you. Comment below where you're watching from. I am in Oklahoma. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Here I'm just getting the distance left and right of the existing drawer so that I can get the spacing correct on the new drawer. I also needed to get the height so that the reveal top and bottom, left and right, is correct. So I just used some scrap plywood to bring the height up. This Ryobi glue gun is fantastic, and I would highly recommend it. I use this to stick it to the front before we add screws. This gives you a little working time so that you can get your final measurements in place and your placement of the drawer front. Bonus tip: if you do hot glue underneath the drawer against the plywood, you don't get rattling, and it actually adds a ton of strength. I'm using fine threaded Craig screws. They already have a pan head, which is kind of like a washer, so you get a lot of holding power. And they were the right thickness or length. They were 1.25 inches. The plywood with the front is right under 1.5 inches total. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great one.